are some basic things that you should not be crediting for. Behave within your means. If you make a Welcome to another impactful episode of Issues of Life, a safe space where we look deep into real life issues and how it affects the way we live, and to ensure that we all live a purposeful life. What we can do to make the best out of life with all these issues that come around on a daily basis. We have conversations and we talk about practical and real life challenges in different areas of life. So it could be in the church, your ministry, the spiritual life, your business, career, just everything about life. So if we are discussing CEPE, we are discussing debt management, we're discussing credit management. How can you stay away from credit? How can you stay away from CEPE? How can you stay away from debt? Okay. And we have two quotes for today. Now, the first quote says, it's actually from the Bible, the book of Proverbs, chapter 22, verse 7. But I'm going to, paraphrase it, make it in simple English. But simple, it says, the borrower is a slave to the lender. True freedom comes when you take control of your finances and choose to live within your means. The borrower, which is the person that keeps taking, keeps asking, is like a slave to the lender, which is the person that is giving it to you. Every time you go and borrow, they say the borrower is like a slave to the lender. But true freedom comes when you, as a person, are able to take control of your finances and choose to live within your means, be within what you make. Okay, that's one. Two, do not save what is left after spending, but spend what is left after saving. I'll say it again. Do not save what is left after spending. So that habit of, let me spend it one, I want to spend one, I finish spending the balance one, I will save it. No. If you're listening to me right now, if you have that habit and you have that talk, it has to change if you want to be able to manage your finances and stay away from CEPE, crediting, or debts. Do not save what is left after spending. You do not do that. But rather, you spend what is left after saving. Meaning, you got your $500. You decide that out of this $500, this is what I want to save first. I want to save $200. And then you save it. Then the balance $200 or $300 that is left, that is what you will spend. But don't say, I got my $500. I will spend it. Let me buy the one. Let me go there play. Let me do the one. Then the balance one I leave there, I will save it. No. Do not save what is left after spending, but spend what is left after saving. So let's be honest, okay? Let's tell ourselves the truth. Money is one of those things that can somewhere or the other, it can either empower you or enslave you. Okay, so it's so easy, to walk into the bank and then with your land document in your hand or your house document in your hand and just say, hey, I want to credit some money. And they say, okay, what you got? You got this? You say yes. You got that? You say yes. And then they say, bring a collateral, and then you bring your collateral. You say, okay, I got my house. This is my collateral. They sign it. You sign. The bank manager sign. The credit manager, they can call it loan manager, sign. And they credit your account and you leave. It's also easier to pick up a phone and call a friend and say, hey, what's up? Jim, man, I need like $50. $50 for $55. $55 for $60. I'll pay you at the end of the month. And then the friend says, okay, what's up? No problem. And then they gave you the cash. It's so easy to credit. Trust me, it's very easy to credit. But the difficult part about it is staying out of debt. That is the real challenge. And sometimes it's paying. To credit, it's easy, but to pay is hard, because the time you want to pay, that's when a lot of things keep creeping in. So many things coming up, and then you find difficulty in paying. Now, many of us are currently trapped in the circle of crediting, meaning it's like a whole day round. It's like a circle that we are in. You credit, you pay, you credit, you pay. You credit, you pay, and you credit, you pay. That's just the trend. It's just going round and round and round, and there is no stopping. Always struggling to make ends meet. Okay, even though we have a job, you have something doing, it's still a trouble. It's still a struggle. The credit and pay is still there because the financial stress is just too much for some to handle. Now, today we are not here to condemn, or I'm not here to condemn crediting. I'm not here to say crediting is evil, is bad. No. That's not what I'm here for. Okay, so do not get me wrong. I'm not here to say crediting is bad. I'm not here to say debt is bad. I'm not here to say sepe is bad. No. But rather, I am here to tell you and to discuss with you that there is a way out of being constantly trapped in debts. Yes. I'm not here to criticize those who credit or say credit is wrong, but I am here to give you an assurance today that, hey, even though the stress is there, the challenge is there are so many things going on, the money is not enough, the salary is not enough, but there are ways that you can actually stay out of debt. There are ways that you can stay out of crediting. There are ways that you can stay out of sepe. If you want to join the conversations, the numbers to call are 077-945-945. 077-945-945. If you want to send a text, you can send a text on 0886-813-796. Please text only if you are doing the Lone Star number. Okay. So if in the book of 2 Kings chapter 4 verse 1-7 is a very familiar story about a widow that her husband died and left her in debt. Okay, now the Bible says this woman lost her husband, and then the people that her husband credited the money from came, and they wanted to take her child. They wanted to take the children. Okay, so but the Bible says that he died and he left the woman with so much debt that even the woman couldn't pay the money. The only option she had was that her children were going to go as slaves to the people that her husband credited the money from. But when she met the prophet Elisha, her story turned around. Her story turned around and things got better. So yes, debt and crediting is a common problem. And if you don't watch it, it has a way of growing faster than you expected. Delay $5 today, $10 tomorrow, $15 today, $20 tomorrow. Before you know it, you are crediting money that you cannot and will not be able to pay. So you need to watch it. Okay, you need to watch it. You need to be wise. In this new year, you need to be wise. So I come bearing good news. Yes, the problem is there. I mean, some people can't do without it, but there is a way out. And it starts with wisdom. And it starts with gaining financial knowledge. So if you're listening to me now, you're one step ahead. Okay, so clap for yourself and say congratulations to yourself because you're gaining financial knowledge. It starts with discipline and it starts with the right mindset. Okay, so feel free to call in and let me know what you think. If this is something that you are currently battling with, struggling with, there is a way out. Okay, so what is debt? What is debt? Debt is what really causes people to run into debt, to want to credit, to want to take sepe. Why? Most times it starts with asking little money here and there, like buy now, pay later. You know, you take this, you take a pen, and then you say, let me take it now. I'll pay you tomorrow, and then you actually pay. Then the next day you say, okay, I saw that shoe. Let me take the shoe. I'll pay you in 2 weeks. Maybe you pay that one. Before you know it, you're taking it for 1 month. Before you know, you're taking 2 months. You're taking 3 months. You're taking 6 months. And before you know it, you're taking 6 months. Okay? So, they want to call in and worry. You take the food, you've not paid for it, you finish eating it, got in the stomach, and then the person that you took the chicken from is running behind you for the money. For what you finish eating, but you have not paid for it. Okay, now these actions will actually look so harmless at first, but if you get so comfortable with it and you think it's a thing and you think that you can't live without it, trust me, you are heading somewhere that you don't want to be. You're heading somewhere that you shouldn't be. You're going to put yourself in a serious debt circle. And if that circle gets so big, you will not be able to escape it. You don't want to leave debts for your children, for your family, for your wife, for your husband, for your family members. You don't want to leave debts for them. Okay, so why do people credit? Number one, lifestyle inflation. Lifestyle. Please learn to live within your means. Learn to live within what you actually make. We are in no competition, or you are in no competition with anyone. You owe nobody an explanation of how you live your life. Live within your means. You're making $150 per month. I see no reason why you want to look for an apartment that costs $250. To prove what? To prove to the girls or prove to the men that you can do this? No. Live within your means. You make $250, then you want to spend $100 on hair? Be wise, my sister. You make $150, then you want to buy $75 costume every month, my brother? To prove to who? You want to buy $50 shoe? To prove to who at that working place? That you yourself can swag? Live within your means. Because if you don't do that, you are going to run into a cycle of credit and debt. The numbers to call are 077-945-945, or you can send us a text on 0886-813-796, and let's talk about this. So please, lifestyle inflation, living above your means is one reason why a lot of people are crediting and running into debt. Unexpected emergencies. Okay, something happens today, and because you have not been financially disciplined to save over the time, you have to credit to get it done. Poor knowledge on financial management. There's one they will not teach you in school. You have to learn it. You have to learn it. Hello, caller.
Yeah, hello.
Hi, welcome to Issues of Life.
Thank you for the topic. I really love it.
Thank you. What do you have to say?
Now, I just want to ask for the future reference on the issues of preparing and credit and borrowing nation.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I beg you can call it from the copy.
Oh, the scripture I said earlier?
The scripture.
Proverbs 22, verse 7.
Proverbs 32%.
22. Proverbs 22, verse 7.
Oh, 32 verse 7.
No, 22. 22, verse 7.
Okay, 22 verse 7.
Yes, there.
Again?
Proverbs 22, verse 7.
That's all?
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So we talked about living above your means as one way of running into credit. Okay. We also talked about unexpected emergencies. So things come up. Poor knowledge on financial management. Also gambling. Gambling. Today you pay one. They lay $50, pay $50, win $100. Pay $100, win $500. Be careful. That's how you can start. I will not go further than that. Health challenges. There are some health situations that will arise and you don't have the money to do it. Some people will have to credit to get it solved because the emergency is something that is above what they can afford. Impulse buying. Impulse buying, I talked about this last week and I will say it again. If you're going to the market to buy a shoe, please go straight to that place and buy your shoe. You get no business to be looking for hair, toothbrush, bathing soap, and all type of thing. If you want to buy something, go straight there and buy it. You want to buy shoe, go to shoe. Don't look for jeans, look for t-shirt, look for that one because you never had it in mind to buy it. You decide that this is what you want to cook, you go in the market, you go there. Don't go there and then you start looking for hair, you start looking for earrings, you start looking for eyeglass. Impulse buying, okay? And also not knowing the difference between what you need and what you want. A lot of people do not know the difference between their need and their want. It's not everything that you see that is your need. You need food, right? You need food. You need, of course, you need clothes. You need clothes, but you do not need $75 clothes. That one is a want. It's not a need. You need clothes. That's what you need. As long as it's covering your body, that's your need. But you do not need $100 shoes. You need shoes, but you do not need $100 shoes. So you don't have to stick yourself and say, if I ain't get a $100 shoe, I will not wear shoe. Okay? So you need to know the difference between your needs and your wants. 077-945-945 or send us a text on 0886-813-796 and let's talk about this thing. Okay? So know the difference between your need and your wants. Another one is wrong investment. Because you see somebody doing this business and then you go and put your whole money into that business and it goes wrong. And then you start crying, oh, my money is there, my money is gone. No, you should actually do your study before you invest. Even if it's a $5, even if it's a $10, you need to do your study and understand that market before you invest. Okay? And uncontrolled childbearing. That's another reason why people run into debt. Have the number of children that you can afford to take care of. Do not go overboard. Nobody is winning trophy for best and plenty children. They're not giving anybody a award for that. If what you have can afford you to conveniently take care of 3 children, please have your 3 children. If what you have right now that only one child it can take care of, have your one little child. Forget what people that said that only one child should get. Tell them that only one child can afford and conveniently take care of Nana. At least you got one. So that's another reason why people run into debt. Because when you have too many children, paying school fees becomes a problem. Feeding them becomes a problem. Giving them clothes, shoes, and everything they need becomes a problem. And once it's a problem, you will have to credit. Christmas coming, then you got to credit. Because what you have cannot afford to buy Christmas clothes for all your children. So you have to credit. Debt also is another reason why some people run into debt, maybe debt of a spouse or debt of a family member, especially if that person was owing someone, like in the scripture that we read about the widow. Okay, she didn't credit, she wasn't owing the people, but her husband did. And debt is one thing that is transferable. Okay, your husband were owing, your husband gone, what it mean? You will pay, even though you were not the one that took it. Even if you spoke against the man and said, do not take it, do not take it. If the man goes ahead and he takes it and something happens to him, you will pay. You go stand for the people to say, I know about you will pay. Okay? So those are many reasons why people get into debt. And the last but not the least, laziness. Laziness. That lazy part, we have to be careful. Some people are just so lazy. They don't want to do anything. They just want to ask. You'll keep crediting. But God will help us, and I'm sure that with this knowledge, you will be able to do something about yourself. So debt is not just, or crediting is not just a financial burden. It is something that can affect your faith. It can also affect your emotional well-being. It can affect your faith, and it can affect your emotional well-being. It can affect your mind. It can affect your mental health. You will be finding it difficult to sleep because you owing plenty people. You can't sleep. You just stress. You just anxious. You can't sleep well. Your health is poor. Low pressure today, high pressure tomorrow. Low blood today, high sugar tomorrow. Because you're just worrying about all the people that you took things from and that you have to pay. You have guilt, shame, no peace of mind, constantly running away or avoiding the less straight road you used to go to work with before because you have credited from somebody and you have not paid. You start looking for a corner to go. The place that used to take your late 5 minutes, you now reach to your place. Now because you credited somebody along that way, you start passing beyond Jericho wall and 30 minutes before you reach to where you are going. Why? Because you're trying to avoid that Oma or that Papi or that young boy that you took credit from. Okay, so running around, avoiding people you credited from, and even though we are not chasing you, even though the person not chasing you, the person not even get your turn sometimes, the person not even get your turn, the person just leave you. But because you have that guilt, you have that guilt in you, like, oh, I'm feeling too bad. Owing a person, man. I want for her to see me before she asks me for her money. You, man, that person feeling forgetting about that money, so, but I want for her to see me before she asks me for money. You start feeling guilty. Okay, so apart from the fact that you just crediting money and all that, there are some things that's actually going on in your mind, and that's why you hear sometimes you hear some people, they say, oh, the person was not sick, oh, what happened? The person just stay like that. You go check pressure or something. Go check behind here that something was worrying that person. Please let us be careful. If you're just tuning in, you're listening to Issues of Life on ELWA Radio, and we are talking about credit or debt management. If you want to join the conversation, you can call 077-945-945. I say again, 077-945-945. Call and let us know what you think about this issue of life called CEPE, credit or debts. Okay, so knowing how to manage debt wisely can give you financial freedom, can give you freedom and help you align with God's plan for your lives so that you can move around in peace and not under pressure. Okay, so it's something that can be done. It's something that you can avoid. From a practical experience, I'm somebody that have been always scared of crediting or CEPE. Yes, I've been so afraid of it. In fact, I remember there was one time that I think a colleague of mine actually forced me to take something. I think it was a shoe or something. And even though I told her, no, keep it. I'm ready for the shoe. I get money. She was like, oh, no, take it. You will pay, man. I trust you, man. You will pay. I trust you. You will pay. I said, no, you keep it when I pay. You give it to me. She said, no, man, I want to keep that thing here. Take it. And so because I was so afraid of credit or CEPE, I took the shoe and I went and hid the shoe. I kept it somewhere. I don't know if that was my right hand or my left hand I kept it, but I know I kept it somewhere and I completely forgot about where I kept that shoe. I kept it somewhere and said, okay, let me just have the shoe. Until I can pay for it, I will not wear the shoe because I didn't want a situation where I will wear the shoe and be bluffing. Then in her heart, she'll be like, she didn't pay for this shoe, yo. Then she bluffing inside. Wait, me, I know. Human being, how we can do, okay? So I took the shoe, I kept it. And then I think after a while, I did pay for it. I paid for the shoe. But then I forgot completely about where I kept the shoe. I even forgot about the shoe after I paid for it. And then I think a couple of weeks later, not weeks, but months, I was like cleaning up and then I saw the shoe. And guess what now? The shoe couldn't fit me again. The shoe couldn't fit me again. I got so mad at myself. So since that day, I said, no, I will not do it again. Because I can't keep buying something. I use it because I say I want to pay and then I will not use it. I got so angry with myself. But that's just it. That's just how I, as a person, have learned to control things. Okay, so for me, I always tell people the fear of credit is the beginning of wisdom. Until you become afraid to credit, then I know wisdom setting in. That's something regular that I say. So yes, there are times when we really want something and you don't have the money, you don't have the cash, you don't even have up to it. Okay, but with the right knowledge and with the right wisdom and the help of God, there are ways to go about it, and there are ways to actually control the urge to credit. Being debt free is not just about having more money. Okay, it's about having more freedom to live your life. So because you are not tied down to people financially, you owing this person, you owing the bank, you owing the susuma, you owing that jalo shop, you have freedom. And you can go after your dreams. You can go after opportunities, okay? You can make better decisions. So staying out of debt will actually help you to focus on your life, will help you to actually get things done this year, will actually help you to go forward. If you learn to control that feeling, you learn to control that urge. So we'll take a short break. And in case you have a question, please feel free to call in on 077-945-945 or send a text on 0886-813-796. We'll be right back. Leading into the danger zone, the red zone, when it comes to debts. You know, it starts gradually. They lay 5 cents, 10 cents, 15, and $20. Before you know it, you're actually slowly leading into the danger zone. So here are some signs that you need to watch out for and check yourself. Number one is if you're living from salary to salary. Okay? Even sometimes the salary can finish before it hits the account. If that's your situation, draw near. You need to watch it. I'm saying you live from salary to salary, meaning as the money comes at the end of the month or the income comes, you spend it. As it comes, you spend it. And even sometimes, let's say the month will end and they'll pay your salary at 25th. By the 15th, the $100 what you're supposed to make by the 25th of the month, you already not taking in credit. So when the month ends, that money not coming to you. It's coming to the person that you credited from. If you are in that situation and you're listening to me right now, you need to watch it. That's a sign. That's a serious sign that you could be heading to the danger zone and you don't want to do that. Number 2, taking credit for basic expenses. Now, there are some basic things that you should not be crediting for because these are reoccurring. These are expenses that happen every day, every time. So, if you have actually done the things we talked about in the first part of this show, the things I listed, and you have properly managed yourself, there are some expenses, there are some costs, there are some basic things that you should not be crediting for. Number 1, like feeding. Number 2, housing. You work and you earn money, but you still have to credit to pay your rent. That's a problem. Watch it. You earn. It's not that they owe you 6 months. Every month your salary comes. But at the end of the 6 months or 1 year, you still have to credit to pay your house rent. Please watch it. You have to credit to eat. These are basic things. Please watch it. To some extent, I told someone that you don't even have, even if, look, if you're making money and you have the number of children that you can take care of, you should be able to afford their school fees. And if you are living within your means, you should put them in school that you're able to pay the salary, the school fee salary conveniently. So you cannot be working for 1 year round, and then when September comes, it's a struggle to pay your children fees. You've been working from one September to another September. Please watch it. There are some things that you need to put in place so that you don't stay in that box of credit and SEPI. 077-945-945. 077-945. Call in and let me know what you think. So, if you are struggling to save, it's difficult for you to save. The more ends you want to save, but watch it. You should be able to conveniently save and say to yourself, every month, this $10, I will save it. And if something that every month, without stress, without nobody forcing you, you take the $10 and you save it. But if you are constantly struggling to save, then you should watch it. These are warning signs. These are red light, telling you to slow it down because you are gradually sliding into financial crisis. The big people call it, or the book people call it, financial crisis, if you don't take the right action. It looks simple to you now to credit outlay $5,000 and pay at the end of the month. But as you continue to do that, trust me, it will increase. From $5,000, you go to $10,000. From $10,000 you go to $20,000. From $20,000 you go to $200 US. From $200 US, and then you keep going. So you have to watch it. So let us take some practical steps you can do to stay away from debts. Remember, I said at the beginning of this show that we are not here to criticize or say crediting is bad. We are not here to say crediting is wrong. I'm not saying it is bad, it's wrong. No, because some people, most times you actually need to take loan from the bank to do huge investments and other things. Even I was joking with a friend, and then they say even Liberal on credit, even the government credits, yeah, but they do it wisely. Okay, so even businessmen, the top business people, they credit, yes, but they do it wisely. They use their head, not their hearts. So even if you must credit, please use your head. not your heart. But here are some practical things you can do to limit the kind of the amount or the number of times that you have to credit if you must credit. Number one is be content with what you have. Very important. Be content with what you have. Don't measure yourself with other people. You are in a community and you want to act like everyone in a community. You don't know how that person is getting their money. You have no reason measuring yourself with that person. Whatever you have, be content with it. You and somebody working, for example, two of your star, maybe God bless you and you've got a Camry. You're working, maybe you're making the same salary and you're using the Camry. And then maybe after a while, you notice that your friend bought a Pathfinder Jeep. Then you yourself now, you start putting pressure on yourself to buy Jeep. My brother, do you know what your friend did to buy that Jeep? You not know. But because you will start putting yourself under pressure, because you say, well, the man are crowd, so and why he do that, I can't do. You go put yourself in unnecessary credit. If you listen to me now, please watch it, okay? Please watch it. Be content with what you have. Do not measure yourself with other people. 1 Timothy chapter 6 verse 6 says that godliness with contentment is great gain. Meaning, living a godly life while being satisfied with what you have is the greatest wealth you can possess. So godliness, meaning being a Christian, living a godly life, when you add contentment to it, being satisfied. What you have, you satisfy with it. They say it is what? Great gain. It's the best wealth that you can ever possess. Number two, practical ways to stay out of debt, pay or credit is live within your means. I will say it again. Live within your means. If you make $100 every month, let your expenses for that month be within the $100 that you make. If you make $200, let your expenses be within that. Do not go over more than what you make. Live within your means. Do not compare yourself with anyone. Do not force yourself to be anybody. Live within your means.